Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? It is Wednesday, hump day, or work from home Wednesday. And I'm going to be doing a video to show you how you can achieve a full makeup look with minimal products in less than 30 minutes. This video actually took me about 16 minutes and 3 seconds to film, so I'm showing you this video in real time. I usually start with my brows, so I have absolutely no makeup on at this point. But when I have my hair back and I don't have a weave or a huge Diana Ross Shaka Khan wig on like I'm known to wear, and I pull my hair back, I like to start with my brows and no makeup. So right now I'm using a pencil that I picked up from a neighborhood beauty supply store. It's inexpensive, but it gets the job done. As you can see, it's highly pigmented and it's pretty soft, so I don't have to drag the makeup on my brow to get the color to get in. And I'm actually creating a good basis for what I'm going to do next. Sometimes eyebrows require more than one product, and since I have less hair on my brows than I did growing up, simply because I allowed someone to wax them and they ripped my brows out and now they don't grow back. So what I usually do is I try to mimic the brows that I was naturally born with, really thick brows, by filling them in. So I start with a pencil and then I go in with the brow powder. I like this Makeup Forever palette because it has good color and it's not too dark and it's not too light. And what I'm using is a slanted brow brush from Alcone. I like the hairs, they're pretty thick, and the slant it's a good slant, so I don't really have to do too much moving my hand around because the slant is already there. Sometimes it's better to do your brow before you do your makeup because you can kind of like fix and edit your brows even with your fingers or a q-tip, and if you don't want the tail of your brow to be too long. So that's why I'm doing my makeup, doing my brow before I do the foundation. I'm actually using my fingers to shape my brow. And it's really good to kind of like remember that, there's no real rules in makeup. It's just do what works for you. And what works for me is using my fingers sometimes. Sometimes I use Q-tips, but in this instance, I'm just using my finger. So now I'm on to the next brow and I am filling it in. And I'm trying to match the other brow, but I am not one for perfection when it comes to makeup because I think that things naturally are not perfect. And remember, brows are sisters, not twins. So I'm going in to fill in the next brow with some brow powder from the Makeup Forever brow kit. It's always good to brush your eye in the direction your brow naturally grows. So my brows grow upward, just like my hair. My hair grows upward, and so does my brow. The hair on my head grows upward, and so does my brow hair. So I usually fill it in the way my hair grows. It just makes your brow look much more natural. Very late last night. How was it? I think it's really important for us to like look at ourselves in the mirror and figure out what we are naturally, so that when we are doing makeup, we're mimicking our own natural curves and natural contours in our face. So that's what I'm doing now. So as you can see, I used 2 steps so far to get these brows on, and I'm taking a lot of time with the brows because my hair is pulled back, so that's going to be the focal point. Now this is a little unorthodox, but I am using a black liquid pen from Sephora. This is a black liquid eyeliner that I'm using to kind of mimic the hairs. Since I put powder and pencil on my eyebrows, I've pretty much flattened the hair. So in order for me to lift it up, for it to look more like hair to the naked eye, I add that in by just adding little dark lines in with the liquid liner just to make it look more natural. I don't really like when it looks like a Nike check. Sometimes I accidentally do that to myself. I'll admit it, but hey, that's what happens sometimes. But right now, that's what I'm doing. And it's okay to use black. You can use brown or blonde or, whatever color your eyebrow is. So I use black because my hair was naturally jet black. As you can see, it's taken me quite some time to get this brow done, but since this is going to be the focal point of this sort of makeup application, I'm taking a little bit more time on the brows because I'm not hiding behind a bang or curly hair. I am all face. So when you are having a hairstyle that pulls your, that shows more of your face, it's best to pick a focal point and focus on that, and that's where you spend your time. So I'm spending more time doing my brows simply because I have my hair pulled up off of my face. Go in there, fix that. Looks pretty good. So I think now what I'm going to do is move on to the foundation. And what I usually do when I'm doing my foundation is I'll do a color corrector to correct the hyperpigmentation on my skin, and I have hyperpigmentation in small parts. I did a tutorial before where I talked about polycystic ovarian syndrome and how it affected my skin tone, and there's some medication that I was taking that really exacerbated that. But my skin is close to normal as possible, so I don't really need as much of the color corrector as I used to. So I am just adding a little bit of the Makeup Forever HD foundation to the hyperpigmentation. I really don't want to put that much makeup on today. I just want to do like a quick application. Let's just say I'm doing a Zoom conference and I want to look decent for that conference. This is what I would do. And I usually don't do Zoom conferences because I'm a creative and I don't have I don't have the type of job that a lot of people do where they have to do conferences, teachers or executives. But I hope this helps you figure out how to get a quick application done if, it's something that frightens you. Makeup usually takes a lot of time, but in this instant, I was able to get this job done in less than 30 minutes. So as you can see, I'm just covering up what I think are imperfections on my face. So I'm taking the time to just blend in that foundation to cover up the dark spots and then to blend it into my skin tone so I kind of have more of an even complexion. Now I'm going in for the concealer, and this is Self-Setting Concealer from Makeup Forever. It is one of my favorites. What I like about it is I don't really have to add powder, and it's really kind of have a light reflective benefit to it, so I can use it as a concealer and highlighter. So I'm actually using this concealer to create contours, highlights in my face without overdoing it. And it's really good to get it in onto the spots where you're going to, it's get it into where you need to get. So I go like right under the eye, and then I'm going to like smooth it out with my beauty blender. And honestly, when they say self-setting, it is really self-setting. I don't have to finish this with any loose powder, especially for a look like this because I want it to look more natural. Now, I usually follow the contours of my face, so I'm highlighting portions of my face that I feel need the highlight. So it really creates dimension in my face without me looking overdone. Sometimes when we do makeup, we kind of take away from the natural contours. So now what I'm doing is adding a darker concealer in because I'm creating a little bit of a quick contour. And it's really good to know your face. So I really studied where my contours are, where my jawbone is, where my cheekbone starts, and so I kind of know quickly how to achieve a more defined look. So I'm just adding the darker concealer in, and this concealer, by the way, is by Urban Decay. So I'm putting it where I feel like the darkness on my skin would naturally be. So what I'm doing, since I did this makeup and I covered up my face, I'm really going in to perfect the complexion, but I'm really making sure that it looks like it looks naturally. And honestly, I feel like that is the best thing, or the best way to approach makeup, is to just, you know, just now I'm at a loss for words. I'm sorry. You want to make sure that your skin looks like it looks naturally. Hey, listen, guys, I'm not really an orator or a commentator. I'm just trying to get you to see how quick it is for you to get these makeup looks done. So you see the difference when you look at the way I've applied my concealer. The dark concealer from Urban Decay is a concealer for a darker complected woman, but I'm using it as a contour. and I use my highlighter, my concealer as concealer and highlighter. So now, I'm just blending out my face. And to me, this is a perfect application. As you can see, I didn't add any makeup to my forehead. I don't think it was necessary. So when people say, wow, you look like you don't have on any makeup, because it's not necessary to flood your skin with makeup. So now it's time to do the eyes, and I've used the same liquid liner that I used to mimic the hairs in my brows on my lid. And this is a quick way to get the definition in your eye using a liquid. And I don't know if you noticed, but as I apply this liner, I'm actually moving my head. So it would go on easier, and it's less room for mistake when you kind of move your head with your hand, and you're have good you have a better application if you do that. Liquid liner is a little bit tricky to apply, and sometimes it could become one big mess. So I've learned to kind of like move my head and my hand at the same time so I could get a really good even line. And remember, this is quick. I know a lot of people don't do liquid liner on the bottom, but for me, I've learned that when I'm doing makeup tutorials, that the liquid liner shows up better on camera. So if I want to make sure that my eyes are defined, then I use liquid liner on top and bottom. Take a minute, step back and look at yourself and see, hey, do I need to add more? Do I need to add less? So I'm feeling like I need to add a little bit more, and I'm doing it. Like honestly, I could have stopped here, because if you look, this is almost a flawless application, and I only have on lip balm and concealer, but I have like 2 different tones of concealer. So honestly, you've been here with me, so you know what I've done. So now I'm on to the mascara, and I really like Great Lash Mascara. It's inexpensive, it's super black, and it gets the job done. I also like the brush on the Great Lash Mascara because it can get into the groove of my lashes. My lashes are really curly, so I have to kind of like curl down and up. It is really important to get the mascara at the base of the lash, because you want to thicken your lash and extend. So, you thicken your lash by applying the mascara to the root of your lashes and moving it around so you can deposit most of the color on the root, and then you lift up. Now, some mascara has specific jobs. So some are mascaras for thickening, some are mascaras for lengthening. But if you have a good hand, you can use one mascara for both, but you just have to know how to apply it. So again, if you want thicker lashes, apply the mascara at the root of your lash and jiggle it around to kind of deposit the color on the bottom of your lash, and to lengthen it, you're going to pull up and curl up. So what I'm doing is I'm eliminating the eyelash curling step, and I'm just curling it and lengthening and thickening all at the same time. It's really why I like the applicator. As you can see, the applicator has a round handle, so it's easy for me to manipulate the brush if it has a round handle. There's my eye. Oh, good Lord. I'm so mad that I got the product in my eye earlier because my eye kept watering. But that's neither here nor there. Just, collateral damage, I guess. So when you do have these little mistakes, you can just go in with your sponge, brush, or beauty blender and just blend away. And that concealer that I'm using is so good that it didn't mess up. As you can see, I had a little bit of black mascara fall down onto my skin, and you can't see it. So the final step is lip. I'm using one of my favorite neutral lip colors from a company called Zarin. And I'm just pressing it in there. I'm not being super, I'm not defining it that well. I'm just trying to get that color on there. Well, my lips have a natural line, so it's easier for me. I don't really necessarily need to use lip liner, but I like to use lip liner sometimes to make my lips look a little bit more voluptuous. I like a full lip. Now I'm taking the time to just perfect what I'm doing, so I'm adding a little bit more mascara. Honestly, 3 swipes of mascara is better. Like, so you want to apply like 1 coat, 2 coat, and 3 coats, so you can have a really nice thick liner. So now what I'm doing is, I'm sorry, lash. So now what I'm doing is I am applying one of my favorite lip balms, and this is from Laneige. I love it because it gives me glossy, full, sexy lips, very kissable lips. And really, honestly, it didn't take 16 minutes. It took about 15 minutes to get that makeup done. Now I got my little ponytail in. I'm just trying to give myself a look for you, keeping it good for the gram. I switch my hair up a lot, so my hair is a little bit, I have a really natural texture, so I just had this little ponytail in, and I just wanted to show that you can like do a quick ponytail and change your look up a little bit. And look, I had a little mistake, so here we go again. We're just going to fix that. And that's it. So this look took about 15 minutes, and that's a full makeup beat. And that is a really good everyday beat. You don't have to put on tons of makeup to look beautiful.